Hello, tribe. Welcome to Safety Before Strategy. This is the first masterclass of a series of masterclass that we are doing. We have four beautiful sessions coming up. This is the first one. We're doing the After Healing sessions, which is a series that I have created to help you move forward with clarity, with strategy, and most importantly, with a regulated nervous system, because we know how it is when we have a dysregulated nervous system, right? So if you are joining me live, say hello in the comments. I'm going to hop onto the comments over here. And if you are catching me on the replay, comment hashtag team replay, because you know how I love knowing that that you're showing up live and that I appreciate you, right? I can only show appreciation when you tell me that you have been here and you tell me what you're thinking about it, okay? So welcome home, gorgeous. I'm so excited for hosting this masterclass for you today. We're going to be here for, I think, about half an hour based on my notes, maybe a little bit more. But if you are wondering if this masterclass is for you, here is the thing. Let me take the banner. We already introduced ourselves. Okay, hold on. If you are wondering if this masterclass is for you, this masterclass is absolutely for you if you have been feeling somewhat stuck in a certain area of your life, right? This masterclass is for you if you have been through a lot, you have been doing a bunch of healing, and you're like, oh my God, why am I still at this place with all of the work that I have done so far, right? You are at the right place if you struggle to stay consistent when it comes to showing up for yourself, when it comes to going after your goals. All right. So if any of these kind of resonates with you, you are absolutely at the right place. Okay, my love. So as I said, this is going to be kind of an interactive masterclass. I want to know your opinion. I want to know your thoughts on it. So if you are live, say hello in the comments. Say what you're thinking about it. Let me know. If you want, you can let me know in the comments. How do you feel when it comes to your goals? Do you think like you feel you are safe enough to your goal to go after your goals? How do you feel in your body when you think about, okay, so this is the thing that I am trying to achieve in my life? How do you feel? Does your body get tense? Do you start feeling anxious or overwhelmed when you think about everything that you still have to do to get there? If you want, feel free to let me know in the comments. That helps me also help you a little bit better, right? So as I said, today we're going to talk about safety before strategy. And this is basically the first step that I have on my forward and free framework, which is a framework that I have created. I'm going to be honest, I created this framework for me first. I'm a survivor of complex childhood trauma. I've done a lot of healing in my life. I mean, I posted something this week, I think, telling you about how I have been on a long ass healing journey of like 10 years, right? So this framework is based on my own experience. It helped me not only heal, but to move forward, right? Because a lot of us, we already done so much healing and we're like, okay, how do I actually thrive? How do I actually move forward with my life and feel and get to a point where I am fulfilled, where I am happy, where I am just not surviving? Hey, Johan, thank you so much for joining. Hey. So this is the first step. I always like with my clients, I want to make sure that they feel safe, right? That they feel safe no matter what they're trying to achieve. Okay, so why I wanted to start here, because there is this mistake that a lot of people do, which is they try to apply strategies and you know what? Oh, thank you. I got a new subscriber on YouTube. Thank you very much for subscribing. Make yourself at home. The mistake that I see a lot of people doing is, so they decide that they want to do something, right? They want to achieve a goal. Doesn't matter what it is, creating your business, opening yourself up for relationships, something like that. And then they try to apply the strategies, but what they forget about is their body, is their nervous system. So we make all of these decisions, and I include myself because I do that sometimes as well, right? Not all the time, but I do that sometimes as well, which is I tell myself that I am going to achieve something, and then I completely forget that I have a dysregulated nervous system because of everything that I have been through. And it's not going to be possible for me to achieve things in the same way if I don't consider my nervous system. And how can you consider your nervous system? You make yourself feel safe as you go after your goals, right? So the number one mistake is this one. I see it in clients all the time. I see it in myself, as I said. And if you make this mistake as well, just feel free to raise your hand. This is like a complete safe space here. And yeah, we just decide we're going to do this thing, and we forget that we have a body that has needs, right? And we have a nervous system that sometimes is already dysregulated because of everything that we have been through. So why does that happen? Right? That's not because you're dumb, you're not stupid. It's not, there's nothing that you need to fix within you. We are past that phase, especially if you already have done a lot of healing. This is not about fixing yourself. This is just understanding, right? And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. That happens why? Survival response. We learned that to survive, we just had to keep going and just override our body needs or our mind, our emotional needs, our spiritual needs, right? We have learned that way. So this is learned behavior. It's not something you don't need to fix yourself, your soul. You just need to fix your behavior, right? So that happens because of that. Survival response, you are used to it. This is a behavior that you always had. And even though you have done all of this work so far, there is one thing that I feel everybody misses on this journey, right? They do the healing, and there is this one particular belief that you need to upgrade. And it's that belief that in order to achieve what you want, you need strength and you need energy. That's fine. It is true. You need strength, you need energy, you need power to go after what you want. But what I see in a lot of people who have been through trauma, through abuse, through difficulties in life, is that they equate that strength and their power that they need to go hard, to push yourself, to be tough on yourself. Sometimes we do bully ourselves, like who never, right? Who never bullied themselves into doing something? So we learned that this is what we have to do. If we want to achieve something, I'm not going to go and slowly achieve something. I need strength. I need speed. I need it to be fast. I need it to hurt a little bit. So these are beliefs that we need to upgrade, because actually you don't need all that to achieve. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But how is this resonating, tribe? What do you feel about this? When I tell you this, because a lot of people have this engraved belief, this is what we have to do. I have to really go hard. And what we need to do is to upgrade that belief. Do you need to go ahead and dig a little bit deeper and go back to your past stories and figure out where? I'm sure you already know all of this, where all of this is coming from, right? So I just invite you to start challenging that belief. And you know, one thing that actually helps me internalize this belief, and I use this analogy all the time, is I love plants. I'm a plant mama. I don't know if you can relate, but I always think about expanding, growing, and achieving goals as, as if we were plants. So allow me to talk to you and to kind of, think about ourselves as plants, because I mean, I'm looking at a tree over there, and during the winter, she had to go what she had to go through, and now the leaves are coming, right? I'm looking at my garden, and that's what I see. So what I wanted to tell you is, you can't kick a flower and just be like, grow, just I'm going to go there and go to my garden and start kicking flowers and be like, okay, this is how you grow, because that's not the truth, right? That's not the reality. And deep down, we know that. But unfortunately, we have these beliefs over here messing up with us, right? So just I like to think about myself as a plant because they're so beautiful. But just, you can't kick a flower without, and just be like, okay, now you grow. Do you think the flower will grow? That's the same with you. You don't go ahead and start screaming at a seed and be like, you effing ugly go ahead and grow, and then don't water it and hope it will grow. But still, that's the thing we do with ourselves. We don't treat ourselves like we are human. We don't allow ourselves to actually have that safety component. We don't allow ourselves to have that thriving environment. We're going to dive a little bit deeper on this, but yeah, you know what I mean. We need to look at us, at these precious beings that we are, right? And we need to create that safety. And why is it important to create that safety? Because if you don't create safety for yourself as you go after your goals, like that's terrible news, right? That's terrible news for your nervous system. And if it's terrible news for your nervous system, it's going to be terrible news for you and for your goals. Because what's going to happen is that you are going to actually have the opposite effect of what you want. If you keep kicking yourself and hoping that you are going to get there because you're just like going harder and speak more aggressively, it's going to have the opposite effect. That's when I'm sure that you're here in this masterclass, probably because you self-sabotage a lot, because you start something and then you quit, right? So what we need to do is change the way we are doing things. Like this, what we spoke about so far, it's the old way of doing things. Nowadays, we do things differently. And I'm going to tell you a new way of doing things. So we don't want it to have the opposite of what we want, which is quitting, right? But then there is also another side that we don't talk about enough, which is numbing yourself completely, because that's also a trauma response, right? That's also a survival response. I'm overriding my body. I'm doing more than what I want to do. I don't feel safe here. So what I want to do is what I will do is I'm going to numb myself. And then when you numb yourself, you get to a place you probably didn't want to achieve that goal anyway because it wasn't aligned. When you numb yourself, you are probably going to feel burnt out after, and that's not what we want. So do we understand why this is so important? Why we really need to take this seriously? Why we have to create safety first and foremost? We need to create that safety because we need to create an environment that's going to allow you to achieve your goals. All right? So we spoke about the mistake that we do usually, why that happens, and why that's terrible news for you and your nervous system. And now let's talk about what is it that we can do instead. How can we contrast the old way we have been doing things? Because now you understand that you can't hold much when you have an overactive nervous system, right? Which is what happens when you completely override your needs and don't create safety for yourself. So what we need to do is to let go of these survival strategies, and we need to adopt what I call the forward strategies. So before strategy, we're going to create that safety. And while we are implementing that strategy that's going to take us to where we want to be, we also want to be checking in. And I'm going to share with you very powerful questions that you can ask yourself for you to create that safety in your body, in your mind, and in your soul, right? And when we are creating this safety, what we are doing is we are creating that environment to thrive. Now, going back to the plants, so if you want a plant, a tree to thrive, you want to make sure that they are in a good soil, right? You're not going to have an orchid in just like, outside right next to an orange tree, right? That doesn't make sense. You need good soil. You need loving words, because we all know that plants only grow if you are loving towards that. And if you tell them how proud you are because they're growing and they're giving you flowers, right? You need the right weather conditions, and you need to adapt to the plant needs, which is the same thing you need to do for yourself. So how does that translate in real life? Because I'm all for giving you the mindset, but I know that mindset is nothing if you don't apply the things, right? If you don't apply what we are talking about here today, then whatever I said is not worth it. So I really want you to apply this. So what I invite you to do is really like lock in right now, and let's talk about what does that mean practically in your life to create that safety. So first of all, what we need to do, we need to think in terms of emotional safety, physical safety, psychological safety, and spiritual safety. You want to ask yourself, if you want to think of a particular goal, I think that would be very, very useful. If you look at your particular goal and you ask yourself, do I feel safe emotionally here? Do I feel safe emotionally in this situation with these people? Whatever is it that you are trying to overcome or to achieve, just think about it. Ask yourself, do I feel safe here? So we want to look at the physical safety, of course, not only just you not being in danger, right? Because, oh my God, please, if you are in an abusive situation, whatever that is, make a plan, leave the place, right? That's the thing. That's what you have to do. But I'm talking also creating safety in you being in spaces where you can communicate and you can grow and you feel safe showing up as yourself all the time, right? So that's the type of physical safety I'm talking about. The other one, it's quite obvious, you know, as a survivor, as someone who will always support survivors, I tell you, if you are in a situation physically where it's not where you're supposed to be, it's abusive, whatever, okay, we need to make a plan and leave, okay? Please ask for help. But if we're talking about the other type of safety, that is also very useful to think about. And I may add that when you have been through a lot, we sometimes don't think about these particularities very often. We think about, oh, that's bullshit. Oh, that really doesn't matter. But it does matter. It does affect you, where you are, where you live, who you're with. All of this, the place that you live. You know what? I'm going to tell you like just a short experience of mine. Before I moved into this house that I am right now, and oh my God, if you saw the mess that this is right now because I'm renovating, you would go crazy. But anyways, before I moved here, I was living in an apartment where I did not feel safe. I was suffering from bullying from this person, that he was abusive towards his family. And you know what? I am already a survivor. That was a stressful situation for me. And I had to think about what was best for me and for my safety and where could I thrive? Where could I thrive? So in reality, I thought to myself and my partner, and we made this decision that we wanted to come to the country. We wanted a more quiet life. And I knew that I would thrive there and here actually, because I'm here already, right? So this is one of those examples where you like choose yourself, where you think about, okay, where do I feel more at peace? Where could I thrive? Where could I feel safe, right? So not only in extreme situations, but like little situations as well, because your feelings matter. You feeling safe in what you're doing matter, right? So the other thing that I also wanted to tell you is that sometimes, and I spoke about this the other day, sometimes we wait for the right environment to just show up, right? We wait for things to change. And this is me kicking your butt a little bit, because sometimes it's like you have to make the move. Just like I had to leave that place that, you know, I invested a lot of money and the apartment was beautiful. It doesn't matter. I didn't feel safe, so I moved, right? So think about, okay, where am I just hoping things get better and not actually creating that safety, right? I'm going to take a sip of water and I'm going to allow you to think a little bit. Okay. So do not wait, because the thing about you feeling safe is that this is a practice. And I feel that sometimes when you do a lot of the healing, we just get used to a lot of processing. We get used to a lot of like thinking about things and being like, this is like this because of that. And sometimes we get stuck in the thinking and we forget about the doing. When I'm talking about creating safety, I'm really talking about creating safety. I'm really talking about taking those steps for you to feel safe, right? So this can be before you achieve your goals, while you are achieving your goals. And we are going to talk about tomorrow about strategies to keep you steady as you go. So just thinking about this concept of creating safety is going to be amazing for you to actually absorb all of the things that I'm going to share with you tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be a lot of like more strategy and everything, because you want to create that safety also on a day-to-day basis. So how is this landing, tribe? Let me see on Facebook how is it doing. Am I live on Facebook? I know I'm on YouTube. How is this landing, tribe? Oh, okay, I see. Okay, hi Michelle. Amazing. Okay, perfect. All right. So I hope you are ready now, because I am going to share with you some very, very powerful questions that are going to help you create that safety in your body, in your mind, and your emotions. Okay? If you have, maybe I'll just write them down here so you can have them. So I want to think and keep checking in with yourself. When you think about that specific goal that you are trying to achieve, I wanted just simply to ask yourself, how do I feel? What do I need right now? This is like one of those questions that we keep forgetting to ask. How do I feel right now? How do I feel about all of this, right? Oh, hi, Raina. Raina is watching on YouTube. So ask yourself, how do you feel? What do you need right now, right? And this is one of those things that sounds very obvious, but we don't do it. And it's like we need to keep reminding ourselves until these things are second nature. Please don't think like this is not important. This is not going to do nothing for me. It does make a difference. I'm telling you. I've experienced it myself, and I've seen in my clients as well. The type of life I live now, it's like my head sometimes I can't even, comprehend how did I get here. But that's it. I created the framework. Okay. So ask yourself that. I have another powerful question. Oh, this is very important. How is this affecting my mental? How is this affecting my mental? Oh gosh, look at me writing. How is this affecting my mental? Okay. Where is it? Okay, it's here. Write it down, journal about it. Create that safety. Because now you are opening the stage for you to create that safety within yourself. Because if you don't check in, how will you know? Because I'm sure, and I was thinking when I was creating this masterclass, I was like, a lot of people will be thinking that they feel safe going after what they want. But like, are you asking these questions? Because when you ask these questions and you're like, oh shoot, like I actually feel very anxious about all of this. So you don't feel safe. Let's create that safety. And when you ask yourself, how is this affecting my mental? You can ask yourself, how can I be softer? How can I go easy on me? Right? You can ask all of these questions, and these questions are going to help you create that safety, because automatically you're going to have an answer. How can I be softer? Right? What can I do for myself to actually feel safe right now? And this is going to help you because, for example, it's been a while since I've done masterclasses. So before I started this masterclass, I was like, oh my God, why am I so stressed out? I'm just talking to my tribe and teaching, And, I would just, okay, what is happening right here, Erica? And I create that safety. I take some deep breaths. Nothing is happening. You are safe, Erica, right? And this helps me a lot. So another thing that I wanted to tell you that's really, really helpful is this concept of acceptance, right? We all heard about this concept, right? And if you've done the work, you know what I'm talking about. But every time you're trying to fight yourself, to beat yourself up for something, think about the concept of acceptance. And this is one more powerful question. Hold on. Hold on. This is so powerful. Hold on. Jesus, hold on. Did you allow it to be okay to be where you are? Because you're here right now and you want to go to sometimes a complete different place. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, this is not the life that I want to live right now. And you want to be a complete different place. But did you allow it to be okay to be where you are? Because if you make it okay to be where you are, you make it okay for you to be you and for you to grow from where you are. We have this tendency, and I hear usually when a client is with me for some time, they're not say things like this, but usually when they start, they're like, oh my God, I feel like I'm fighting myself on this one. I feel like I'm fighting, and we have to stop fighting and we have to start accepting and then go from there. Because if you are already shaming yourself and being like, you're not supposed to be here, how is it possible from after everything you have learned, you're still at this place? How can someone be motivated to achieve something and feel safe to go ahead and achieve? Listen, this is not shaming, okay? Please, this is not shaming. This is us acknowledging all of these behaviors that we're having that are not creating a safe environment for us to thrive. So if you can answer this question, and if you answer honestly and be like, oh shit, no, I didn't, I have been shaming myself, that's fine. Let's just do something different. And every time you just catch yourself doing it again, you just change it again. You get curious, right? Not judgmental, curious. Not fighting, just accepting and seeing what is it that you can do. Okay, is this landing? I'm so excited. Thank you so much for joining me, like Facebook and on YouTube. You're awesome. You're awesome. You're awesome. Okay. I have a comment by Krina. Can you read Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka? Oh, okay. All right, I'll check it out. I've never read it. Okay, thank you for the book recommendation. Did it help you? Yeah. Okay, cool. Now. So everything that we have been speaking during this half an hour, this is part one of the work. Tomorrow, we're going to keep going, and I'm going to show you what is it that we're going to do tomorrow and what we're going to work tomorrow. But now I want to address something, because I know what happens when we start getting into these concepts of moving forward, of living a gentler life, of being more gentle with ourselves, is that we start thinking about, hold on, but am I not going to become like soft? Am I not going to stop myself from achieving my goals if I'm just like trying to be safe all the time? I said safe, not settled. Safe, not settled. All I'm saying right here is that you need to create safety to go after what you want, because otherwise you're just going to self-sabotage. You're just not going to do anything. You're going to procrastinate, or you're going to numb yourself throughout and then face burnout. Oh my God, I'm sorry, but that's just the reality. And I have lived it. And I've worked with people that come to me after they have tried the hard work and they know it doesn't work, right? So the thing here, I don't need you to settle. You don't need to settle. Dream fucking big, okay? Dream as big as you can. And then bring some safety and create some safety into your life so that's not too overwhelming and too triggering for you to go after the thing. Because if you don't create safety, it's going to be too triggering. Overactive nervous system. That's all I'm saying. And if you find yourself being like, oh my God, what do I do? It's just instead of bullying yourself, just be honest, right? Because sometimes I'm not saying that you're off the hook, right? I'm not saying that we shouldn't do anything, but you should also feel safe enough to tell yourself the truth, to tell yourself, come on, we've been procrastinating for a week now. It's time to do something, sweetie, right? But not bully yourself. Be honest. Just don't bully yourself. Don't be aggressive again towards yourself. Just be honest. Don't overwork yourself. Work smart, right? And allow yourself to be that person who works smart. A lot of people work smart. A lot of people live a gentle life. Why not you? Why does it have to be that hard? It doesn't have to. If you don't create that safety, you don't create that ease to help you achieve your goals, because it does not need to be that hard. That's just survival. That's just survival, and us being in survival and thinking things need to be hard. Okay, we're going to do hard shit, that's true, but everything does not need to be that hard, and you deserve to feel safe as you go after your goals. Okay, is this resonating with you? Tomorrow, we're going to talk more about this, and I'm going to give you more structure and more strategies. I just needed to really have you locked in into the gentle way and into creating safety to achieve the things that you want. Okay? All right? Oh my God. Thank you, Cream Jesus. Thank you. Oh my God. How do I read? Oh, that's Reina. Thank you, Johan, so much. Thank you, Michelle, for also joining me on Facebook. Is anybody else live? Drop me a hello in the comments so I know that you are. And you know what? If you, Johan, I do remember you. Don't worry. I do remember you. If you are watching this on the replay, please also comment #replay. Oh my God, there's also Carrie. Hello, my love. Hello, hello. I'm so excited. Let me know in the comments, tribe, do you have, oh, Andrea is also here. Everybody's joining. It's amazing. Drop me any comments, any questions that you have in the comments. Okay, we did very good like timing. So if you have any questions, drop me in the comments. Or if you need me to repeat something or wrap it up. Yeah, Carrie, I was reading your handle and I was like, and then I realized it was you, Carrie. Listen, if you are feeling like you need support to create the life that you want to create, that you have been dreaming about, if you are listening to all this and you're like, oh my God, this is easier said than done, I really need support, you can always book a 90-minute power session with me. I'm going to drop the link here. What happens in this session is that we work on not only creating the safety that you need to achieve your goals, but also a strategy for you to go after your goals in a way that actually honors yourselves. Because as I said, if you are not creating that safety, then it's going to be really hard, right? So I'm here to make things easier for you. So this session is going to help you with that, create that safety and make a plan for you to achieve your goals. Usually these sessions, you have a 90-minute session with me, and then there is a 30-minute follow-up session, which is integration, just to make sure you're good. And since you are here dropping me live, this is only for people who are not live. I'm so sorry. For people who are catching the replay as well, I don't want to leave you out. If you book between today and tomorrow, I have a bonus for you. I am going to record a personalized tapping session for you. It's one of the practices that all of my clients love. Tapping, EFT tapping is so effective to create safety, to help you with anxiety. I'm going to drop the link here for you to book the session. So this is a little bonus for you if you book between today and tomorrow. And you know what? I hope I see you here tomorrow. Oh, hold on. And let me tell you what we're doing tomorrow. Hold on. Is it here? Yes, it's here. Okay. So today it was all about, okay, hold on. For visual learners, are you able to share a screen so we can follow along with our eyes and not just the ears next time? Yes, you know what? Yes, I was Tomorrow, I'm going to do PowerPoints for you. You are so right. I usually have slides, but renovating the house, and sometimes I just have to show up authentically with what I have. Otherwise, I don't show up. But I'm going to do my best tomorrow. Okay. Thank you very much for the feedback. All right. So this was today. And tomorrow is all about helping you stay steady as you grow. We're going to talk about the daily foundations that keep you grounded as you expand. Okay, this is what we're going to do tomorrow. And I hope I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. This was amazing. You are a great crowd. I hope that you remind yourself that you are worthy of having the life that you want to live. It doesn't have to be that hard. And during these after healing sessions, we are going to do that. We're going to make things easier for us and for you to achieve your goals, because they are achievable. You just need the right strategies and the right approach to it, which is gentler and creating safety in your body. Okay. So tomorrow I'm going to see you here at the same time live. Thank you so much. This has been amazing. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye. How can we reach out? Hey, Jamila, I'm going to drop a comment on YouTube so you can reach out to me. Okay. Thank you for joining. Everyone is awesome. I'm loving this. Can I stay here forever? Ciao, ciao, Raina. Bye, everyone. Mwah.